Hey guys, today we're talking about if your offer doesn't have these three keys, it won't sell. Okay. Lately, I have been speaking to a lot of coaches, a lot of service professionals, especially since our Monetize Your Message Challenge. I have been working with our first cohort in the Message Remedy program. And I've been talking to people, right? And I've been hearing a lot of people telling me they're struggling with their offer not selling. So you may be someone who's doing all the marketing things, right? You're taking all the action, but people are not biting when it comes to your offer. And so in my experience, it's usually one of these three things. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say four. So I'm going to give you a ground zero, and then we're going to get into our three tips. But it's usually one of these three things that's missing why people struggle to sell their offers. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you are new to our community, the Female Coaches Society, welcome. My name is Nyala, marketing and income strategist for coaches. And what I do is I help them find and market their unique message so they can consistently sign high paying clients. Now, if you are watching one of our snippets or a YouTube video, or, our content goes everywhere. Okay. Everywhere. Okay. It gets syndicated everywhere. So if you're watching this somewhere other than the Female Coaches Society, I would like to welcome you and give you a personal invitation to come on over to the Female Coaches Society. If you're a coach who's looking to connect, who's looking to collaborate, and who's looking to grow with other female coaches. Okay. All right. So let's jump into this good stuff. So I said that I'm going to give you a ground zero. I'm going to give you this ground zero, and it's because the three tips that I'm going to give you today is focused on your offer, but sometimes the problem may be that you do not have the right people in your audience. So you may have been growing an audience. We have been working behind the scenes, working on our infrastructure, pivoting, making some changes. And one of the things that I have been working on is the attraction side of you attracting the right people into your audience. Because if you're not attracting the right people, then you may be doing all the right marketing things, but because you have the wrong people in your audience, they are not aligned. They are not for your offer. They're not ideal. Right. And so that could be a possibility, but let's just say that's not the possibility. Let's just say we're talking to those people who have the right people in their audience, who has been doing all the right things when it comes to marketing, but your offer is still not selling. My tip number one is you may be missing a clear transformation and a concise message. And this is really important. I'm going to say that again. You may be missing that clear transformation and concise message as it pertains to your offer. And this is really important because people buy an outcome. People buy an outcome. They don't really buy an offer. I was in a clubhouse the other day, and I heard one of my mentors speaking, and it just, hit me when he said, people buy what they want to buy. People buy to move away from pain. People buy to move towards their desires. They buy what they want to buy, right? And so if you are able to position your offer and the messaging around your offer where it's very clear and people know the outcome and the result that they are buying, then it makes it easier to sell your offer. Your offer really, your marketing and your offer should do the heavy lifting for you. You should not have to be persuading and convincing people to join your offer. And so if that's what's happening, it's probably because the transformation is not clear enough, or you're not articulating it where it can be clear enough. Some of the mistakes that I see a lot of coaches make, and just drop a one below, if you can resonate with any of this. Well, one of the mistakes that a lot of coaches make is they focus on the service itself, right? So they focus on the delivery, how many calls, it's going to have a Facebook group, all these features that comes with the offer, instead of focusing on what I like to call the big promise, right? And so I am the creator of a signature framework called Market Your Message, where it's a 9-step framework that takes coaches from feast and famine to clients and repeat. And the step 3 in our system is all about you creating a signature framework, you creating your signature framework part 1, and you creating your irresistible offer part 2. Okay. And whenever I am helping my clients map out their offers, I ask them, what is the big promise? right? And I think that a lot of coaches try to put all of the features in the big promise instead of focusing on that outcome. Your big promise is that outcome. And I think it's important for me to say that there is only one big promise. So when you're mapping out an offer, you have one big promise, but then you have supporting promises, okay? So for example, the big promise for this live Money Marketing Monday, what you are on right now, the big promise is I'm going to give you 3 keys as to why your offer is not selling. No matter what, you're going to walk away with those 3 keys. But there may be supporting promises, right? Like you're going to know how to create a big promise. You're going to know why a big promise is important. You're going to know why you need to focus, what you need to focus on instead of what you may be focusing on. These are all these other little supporting promises that this live stream is going to give you. But the one big promise is you're going to walk away with 3 keys as to why your offer is not selling and what you could do about it. Big promise, right? And so you got to make sure that you know the big promise, you're very clear on it, and you're articulating it when it comes to your offer, not using jargon, being straight to the point. I can just keep going on and on, but I don't want to be here too long. We try to keep these very short, but I also don't want to overwhelm you. You need to focus on the big promise. What is the big promise? And when you're trying to think of what that big promise is for your ideal clients, I want you to think of it in terms of what is that big desire that they want that they're going to get from this offer? What is that big desire? Whether it's more clients, whether it's, a better looking body, whether it's a confidence that they want, right? Whether it is a better marriage that they want. What is that big promise that your offer, your program, your service provides? Okay. All right. So that's number one. Now, the second thing that your offer may be missing is it's not instilling confidence. And so what I've learned over the years is that people buy when they're 100% confident that you could provide the solution that they're looking for. I'm going to say that again. People buy when they're 100% confident that you could provide the solution that they're looking for. Another thing is people buy when they're confident in themselves. So confidence is actually broken down in three parts when it comes to selling offers. Number one, they have to be confident in themselves. Okay. So when it comes to your marketing, when it comes to the way that you map out your offer, when it comes to the way that you articulate, meaning the way you sell your offer, you have to be instilling confidence. If it's too complicated, then people are not going to feel confident that they can even implement what you're about to teach them. If it's too robust. Now, here's the thing. Your program may be robust when they get in there, but when you're marketing it, it shouldn't be like, oh, I'm going to give you the pizza, the oven, the sauce, the green peppers, the onions, the pineapples. I love pineapple on my pizza. I'm going to give you all of that, right? Because it becomes a lot. And then people lose confidence because they don't feel like they can actually implement this, and they have to be confident in themselves that they can implement what you're saying you're going to help them do. They also have to be confident in you. Right? They have to be confident that you are that person. And that's where your credibility comes from. That's, again, just all, because everything goes from marketing to sales. So if your credibility is not in your marketing, then they're not going to be confident that you're the one who can teach them. Credibility is not shown just by the testimonials that you share. It's shown by how you show up. It's shown by what you teach. I mean, there's so many ways to instill or to put out your credibility, but it has to be there. Why? Because the credibility is what makes them confident that you're the person who can help them, right? So I told you 3 parts. So number 1, confidence in themselves. 2, confidence in you. And then 3, confidence in the solution. They need to be confident that you are the one who can help them. And they need to be confident in the solution that you say that you can provide. Now, I told you already, when it comes to, them being confident in you, it's all about the credibility. It's all about the positioning, how you position yourself so people can see you as a credible source. Okay. But also when it comes to making sure your solution is credible, it's all about the roadmap. Okay. It's all about the roadmap. Again, like I said, in number 1, a lot of people focus on the delivery of their program and the 8 weeks and the 10 coaching sessions and the Facebook group and the account, all of these things, right? They focus on that instead of focusing on the roadmap that takes their client from where they are to where they want to be. That's what instills confidence in your ideal client, right? Is because there is a roadmap that they can clearly see that, wow, this is where I'm at right now. And she's saying that if I do this next and we work on this, we're going to get to where I desire to be. And that instills confidence. And a lot of people don't have that. You know, a lot of people don't have that. Either you, and then here's the thing, those of you who do have it, you are not positioning and using your roadmap in the way that you need to, so you can still in confidence in your ideal clients. This is so important. I cannot stress this enough. I cannot stress this enough, right? One group of people, you know, they don't have a roadmap at all. I call it a signature framework, a signature system, a signature solution. These are the different words that you're going to hear out here on these internet streets. It all means the same thing. So signature, you know, is important. We're going to get to that in a minute. So we have one group of coaches who don't have a roadmap at all. So you're just out here saying, I'm going to help you do this. I'm going to help you do that. Book an appointment with me. And people are like, huh, number one, who are you? Number two, how? I can't even see that in your marketing. I can't see that in what you're doing. Why would I trust you? You understand? People buy from who they know, like, and trust. So you need to have that roadmap. Then we have the second group of people who have the roadmap, but it's not signature, right? So you sound like everybody else. You're just picking stuff up that you have got along the way, or you may have heard along the way, or you may see other, and it's not that you're copying. So let me make sure I put that out there, because some people, it's not, you know, you're not out of integrity. You're picking things up, you're learning, you're implementing, you know, you're adding some sauce to what you've heard, and you think that that's how you do it, but it's not signature, right? So people are like, oh, blah blah blah, I've heard it all before, right? And I mean, I'm just keeping it real with y'all might be laughing right now, because you know I like to put a little bit of comedy in everything that I do, you know. But the truth is, if you do not know how to set yourself apart from other people who do what you do, then yes, they have heard it all before. It sounds like wah, 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 wah. And this is the reason why you need to have a signature system. And then we have the third group of people. These are the people who, a lot of these are the third group here, are the people who come to us a lot for help. And these are the people who, you've been in the game for a minute, you have a signature solution, but you're not articulating it correctly. You do not know how to position the offer. You do not know how to position your signature solution. You are struggling to even position yourself. And so that's what's not instilling the confidence in your ideal clients, and they need that, right? So the first key is they need that clear transformation, clear and concise message around your offer. The second key that you may be missing is that you're not instilling confidence. Okay, so you need to think about those three areas that we just talked about, and see, where am I lacking? Where am I lacking? And what do I have to do to make sure that I'm instilling confidence in the people who I'm speaking to? This is very important. Okay. All right. And then the third thing is that you are not, and okay, let me just put what I wrote in my notes, and then I'll go a little further. Okay. So on my notes, what I have is, you're not making your ideal clients feel mad that they can't or they don't join you. Okay. And that's because I just like to keep it plain words. You know, in my country, they always say plain talk, bad manners, right? Like, I'm just going to say it what it is. Okay. You're not making people mad or sad. Well, you don't want to make people sad, but you're not making people pissed that they didn't join you or that they can't join you. Okay. In these internet streets, you're going to hear people talk about fear of missing out. You're going to hear people talk about scarcity, right? And these are the words that even though these words are very, very true, very, very needed when it comes to marketing your offers, I like to stay away from it, because again, you've heard it all before. And sometimes it doesn't give you a great feeling. But when it comes to marketing, you are right. When it comes to the psychology of why people buy, you know, people buy because they want something. Then there's a group of people who buy because they like to be in the in crowd. There are different reasons why people buy, what pushes them to buy. And that is the reason why you have to make sure that when you are sharing your offer, promoting your offer, you are remembering that, right? And so one of the things in our framework, we have a framework, it's called the Captivating Offer Framework, where we help our clients map out their irresistible offer, okay? And one of the steps in the framework is to add limitations, okay? And we add limitations, one, by scarcity, whether it's by quantity or time, right? So by saying, you know, we only have 10 spots for this offer, that makes a person like, oh my goodness, I only get 10. I want to get in 10. I want to get 10 now, right? Or if you're doing it by time, this offer is only open for the next 10 days, right? Again, it makes a person psychologically like, oh my goodness, I need to get in there quick. This is something that I need. And when you have the clear message where you are clearly articulating the transformation that your offer provides and people know what they're missing out on, then it's easier to add that limitation, right? Because they know what they're missing out on. And I'm going to put it the other way. If you don't have that clear transformation, that clear message, which is what we spoke about in number one, then even if you add scarcity, even if you add the time limit or the quantity limit, it's not going to work. Again, because people are not clear on what they're missing out on. So you could talk about 10 days and they'll be like, okay, on to the next, right? Because they're not clear on what they're missing out on. So everything, these three keys that I'm talking to you about this morning, they all go hand in hand, and it's very important, right? So you can add limitations in your actual offer, but then you can also add limitations as in marketing assets, right? So for example, one of the things that we do in our community when people join offers is we shout out the people who join. Very recently I found this new tool, and I don't know it's called Video Ask. I was just about to say, I forgot. It's called Video Ask. And I found out about this new tool, and it's awesome. So what we did is when people bought the offer, when people bought the paid for the offer, on the thank you page, there was a video of me, congratulating them on saying yes to themselves and reminding them what the offer was all about and what we were going to do together. And then I asked them, well, what made you join? Right. And people were able to respond to me. I don't want to answer this call. Sorry, guys. And people would respond to me and say, well, what made me join is this, that, A, B, C. I don't want to get too deep. But what we did to use those responses as marketing assets is that we posted, right? We would shout out the person who joined and post why they decided to join. Why did we do that? Why does something like that work? Well, what happens is other people who they're looking at that, and let's say a person said, well, the reason why I joined is because I really want to get better at marketing my offer. I want to be able to get more clients. I'm tired of being in the same place for the last year, and I'm just ready to go forward. Maybe that was their response. And we go ahead and we put that out as a marketing asset. Well, what happens now is other people who are feeling the same way, they're like, oh my gosh, me too, girl. I feel the same way. Maybe I should join this offer too, right? And so again, that is the scarcity, the fear of missing out, the wanting to be a part of something bigger, something greater, the wanting to be a part of like-minded communities where people can feel you and understand you and they know where you are. That's the feeling that comes from a marketing asset like that. Another thing we do is, like I said before, we shout people out that buy, like, whoop, whoop, Sandy came up in the offer. She, decided to join us in ABC program. She's getting ready to get her offer life all together. Who's next? Next thing you know, people like me, I want to get my offer life together, right? So it's not that hard. Like, do not start getting all up in your head and overthinking this and feel like, oh my goodness, this is just a monstrous thing that I have to do. It's really not that hard, right? So as people join, you shout them out. As people join and they tell you the reason why they join, you shout, you put that stuff out there. You share it with your email. I can do an email and share with my email list about Sandy who joined and the reason why she joined. And listen, if you're the one who's feeling this way too, then you might want to come and join Sandy. Let's get your offer life all together, right? You gotta start doing these things. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's because you probably are not getting the guidance that you need in your business. And this is important now. This is the here to here, right? So you're not getting the guidance. You yourself do not have the roadmap. So you're out here putting together offers, but your offer is not structured to convert. And that's the reason why it's not converting. Today, I've really only spoke to you about 3 things, but there's not 8 steps to putting together an offer. And when you put together an offer the way we do it in my company, Market Your Message, and what we do with our clients, what happens is not only do you have an irresistible offer, but you have all your marketing, you have all your emails, you have all your live streams that you'll do if you do live streams. You have all the words that you're going to put in your sales page and your sales emails, everything when you map out the offer correctly. And if you are like, man, but I don't have that. I don't have the stuff that I have to put in the emails. It's because you don't have the offer mapped out correctly. And so we're in 2021 now. And now is where I challenge you to let's get this done. Right now is where I challenge you to no more putting together offers and just crossing your fingers and hoping that people are going to come and buy the offer. You, as a business owner, have to make sure that you're structuring things to convert. So that way, when you launch it next time, you can start. I told the client this last night in our accountability session. You could start looking at your data and seeing where your holes are, where your gaps are, so you can continue to grow. That is how we grow successful companies around here. Right? Is that we first start with a roadmap, we put things out, and then we look at the data and we start taking strategic and specific action that's going to help us reach our goals. Okay, so I really hope that this was useful. Let's go through it one more time. The 3 keys why your offer may not be selling. What I want you to look at is 1, making sure that you have a clear and concise message, a transformation. That big promise that your offer provides, making sure you have it and making sure that you are articulating it clearly. Number 2, making sure that you are instilling confidence in your ideal clients, confidence in themselves, confidence in you that you can provide the solution, and confidence in the solution by making sure that you have a clear roadmap that shows them where they are and what they have to do to get to where they want to be. And that you are the best person and the only person who can help them get there. Okay, that's important. And then number 3, making sure that you add that limitation, making them mad that they couldn't join, mad that they decided to not say yes to themselves. That's where it gets real. Okay, so those are the 3 things that you may be missing, and you can share these 3 things in the actual offer itself, as well as the way that you market the offer.